The Odyssey is a bad movie, but somehow Cosmonaut Variety Hour has found a way to take all the negative and horrific traits of the movie and turn that into a good thing. He took all the bad parts of the movie and used that to tell you that that's why the movie is good actually. It makes no fucking sense. My mind was so fucking blown when I saw his review that he posted like an hour ago. I had to come talk about it, bro. I had fucking toast. I had to go eat while enjoying my time on YouTube, but now I gotta do this. You're making me work, Marcus? It's supposed to be my day off. What the fuck?
And yes, of course, it goes without saying that the presentation was amazing. The IMAX screen ripped my clothes off and made me shit my pants.
Well, at least now we know what happened. He drank the IMAX Kool-Aid and got distracted by the colorful lights and the pretty visuals on the big screen.
But what really hits me now are the powerful themes he injects into the film.
Nope. You're wrong. There are no powerful themes in this movie. The theme in this movie is nonsensical because the person that went to war and won a war now feels bad because he won the war that he set out to fight. I don't understand. You didn't know that. You didn't think about breaking Zeus's law before you started running off to go and fight in war. It was only after that you realized. And also that makes no fucking sense because Zeus's law applies to basic hospitality when people come to your home. Treat them the way you want to be treated. It doesn't apply to fucking war. If a person is attacking you, you defend yourself. Zeus's law doesn't state that you allow people to kill you in cold blood. The theme of this movie makes no fucking sense. It's a blatant contradiction. The Odyssey is about a man who wants to go home, and then Christopher Nolan turned the man into a sad war veteran who doesn't want to go home and see his wife because he's sad that he won the war that he set out to fight. That's your theme? Makes no fucking sense.
After watching this, it's easy to think that Nolan has kind of just made the same movie 5 times now. But in a way, that's kind of sick.
And there he goes, saying that a bad thing is good actually. Nolan just made Oppenheimer again. It doesn't make any sense. In Oppenheimer, it makes sense that a man creating an atomic bomb that's going to possibly destroy the entire world, he's going to be sad about that. That makes sense. It tracks. A man winning a war that he set out to go and fight and then being sad about it and having PTSD because he won a war makes no fucking sense. He's just arbitrarily re-injecting the theme of Oppenheimer into the Odyssey for no reason and then just completely destroying the adaptation. Hey, editing God here. I just want to clarify. Obviously, I know that you can get PTSD from a war, regardless of whether or not you win or you lose the war. What I meant was, you can't have PTSD. You can't give Odysseus PTSD to the point where his one character trait, the fact that he wants to get back home to his wife and child, that PTSD now completely overrides his character to the point where he doesn't want to go home at all. That doesn't make any sense. It's a precarious insertion that completely contradicts the core premise of the story.
Some people who live in the sewers might complain about the lack of historical accuracy here, but since I'm a normal person, I don't care about that.
And with this particular section, I do agree. Most of the people that are bitching and moaning and crying about this movie are sewer fucking gremlin goblin dwellers who don't know anything about real life. All they do is complain about how Hollywood is woke now because their parents never told them that racism and bigotry is bad. Just to be clear, I hate this movie, but I'm not part of those people. I'm a completely different type of person from those people. I'm a leftist, atheist, gender non-conforming, non-binary Nigerian man. I am as diametrically opposed from those sewer dwellers as I possibly could be. So don't lump me in with those guys. But the Odyssey still sucks, bro. You can't, there's no changing that. If you watch my own video on the Odyssey, you will see that the points I present as to why the movie is so fucking bad has nothing to do with why the dumbass cave-dwelling racists hate this movie so much.
But a lot of these aspects are easily ignored because I don't see this as an adaptation, and I don't think that's how Nolan wants the film to be perceived.
Bro basically just said, the movie that is an adaptation of it 3,000-year-old story should not be perceived as an adaptation of the 3,000-year-old story.
This film very much feels like people from the 21st century putting on a show. A lot of the time, this does not feel like we're watching a historical Greek epic. And in my opinion, that's a much more interesting approach. It helps it feel more timeless and strange, even if it can be distracting every once in a while.
Bro basically just said all the historical anachronisms and inaccuracies about this movie are so distracting and it feels like this is a modern day retelling of an old story which doesn't line up chronologically. But that's actually a good thing because I like being distracted in my movies. I don't like suspension of disbelief. What the fuck is that? No, distractions. Distract me all day, every day. pull me out of the movie, kill my immersion. That's a good thing. How did you manage to turn that into a praise of this fucking movie?
Probably the most distracting thing is possibly the plethora of actors. And not because it's a multiracial cast, but because everybody's kinda doing their own thing. And I feel like Damon really understood the assignment here. Alternatively, you have Anne Hathaway, who's also doing a very good job, but in a different way. Her approach feels more over the top and theatrical. At times, it can feel like she's performing in a different movie than Matt Damon. It's not bad by any means, it just feels different.
Are you sure about that?
And that goes for everybody. I think everyone in this movie is kind of doing their own version of the Odyssey. All of these people are great performers. They wouldn't be in the movie if they weren't. And to me, they all kind of just feel like they're doing their own thing. And I think that's kind of cool. I don't know. I like it. Feels like everybody's here having fun playing make-believe.
So bro basically just said that all the actors feel like their performances are incongruous and disharmonious with every other person that is acting in this movie, to the point where it doesn't feel like they are in the same movie, and that is very, very, very distracting, on top of the historical anachronism that can be found in this film. And those two things combined together is actually a good thing. Are we watching? Do you guys see what I'm saying? He keeps saying overtly negative things about the movie, but then telling you that this negative thing is the reason why the movie is good. Am I fucking going crazy here?
Magic in this world is also shown to be terrifying and at times incomprehensible, but it still manages to show restraint. The gods aren't constantly showing up and chatting with Odysseus like they are in the original work, but when they do, there's still a caveat. It's never as clear-cut as we think. A lot of the time we see the gods through the elements. Raging tides and fierce lightning show us the presence of the gods without us needing to see them directly.
Again, back to the adaptation thing. The original story has a plethora of gods making themselves known and visible and conscious to the main characters of the film on a consistent basis, to the point where you understand exactly where the characters' problems, anguish and motivations come from as a direct result of the actions of the gods, and you know exactly where the gods are coming from because these are the exact things that are making them upset. But in this movie, Poseidon, Zeus, Athena, all the fucking mythical gods, they are so fucking vague and obscure. You don't know if Poseidon is on the side of Odysseus or not, because one second he's sending raging winds and waves and tides against their ship and trying to destroy them, but then the next he's helping Odysseus get home because I guess they are friends now and he's not upset with him anymore. And even though Odysseus literally has Athena, or the perception of Athena, constantly talking to him, he's always like, oh, the gods should communicate in a way that is clear. Bro, he's talking to you. You're literally talking to them. Someone gave you a prophecy that your men are going to die and Athena is literally talking to you all the time. What the fuck do you mean the gods should communicate in a way that's more clear? So Marcus is Cosmo of Raiatia, that's his real name. Marcus has taken another blatant and overt negative of this movie, the obscurity of the gods, the fact that we don't know what their true motivations are, we don't know their thoughts, we don't really see that it's a fucking fantasy, historical, mythological epic, and he's praising the fact that we didn't get to see the fucking gods. Christopher Nolan took out the fantasy aspect out of the fantasy, historical, mythological epic, and that's a good thing. How? Anyway, he goes on to vaguely and nondescriptly continue to praise the movie for some fucking reason. I don't mind his channel, he's fine, he's entertaining, he's engaging, he knows how to critically analyze movies. Not all the time, there are a lot of videos that he made that I do not fucking agree with, but it's whatever. This particular video just, rubbed me the wrong way and I had to react to it. So yeah, no hard feelings, Marcus. The Odyssey sucks. Stop trying to turn negative of the movie into positives, and yeah. Now, subscribe to my Patreon. The first link in the description. So go to my Patreon and give me money. Give me all your fucking money. Do it now. Like I said in my Odyssey video, it's Zeus's law. You gotta give me all your money, bro. It's Zeus's law. You don't want to be breaking Zeus's law. Alright, bye.
So, I'm gonna give the Odyssey a 9.5.
Oh shit! Holy fucking shit, bro! This movie is not above a 3 out of 10. Marcus, stop it!
Get some help.